Welcome, beautiful souls. It's Tami here from Introspect, jumping on to do a collective reading, general collective reading for these beautiful Lionsgate portal energies. So from the 8th of the 8th, which was yesterday, through to the 14th of August 2022, we have a full supermoon in Aquarius on the 12th of August, Friday, here in New Zealand. So jumping right on in, if this resonates for you, own it 100%. If it doesn't, let it go. It wasn't for you, it's totally fine. I'm not going to be able to reach every single person. This card popped out while I was infusing the collective energies into it, and it rings very true. So it's from the Energy Oracle cards. So yin and yang. The number 22, which is very dear to me. I was born on the 22nd, so this is a master number. So the yin and the yang, that beautiful harmony between the masculine and the feminine energies within our our physical body, our mental body, our spiritual bodies, and how important this is as we move through these times of escalated energy. So the energies that are coming in from with like the Lionsgate portal energies, so new light code activations, DNA upgrades, the abundance codes, all of the energy, and this comes in like solar flares and the solar winds, and like there's a lot going on in our universe that is hitting our planet. And it is affecting us. It is affecting our bodies in a very real way. And so this is a call to really find that harmonious balance between the structure of the masculine and the just allowing and the being and the flow of the feminine. So yeah, I feel like it is, for this week in particular, to be in the feminine and to be in the masculine. So really making sure that we are dropping into each state within every single day. So we're not every day being in our masculine all day, every day, that we are allowing ourselves to drop into that feminine state, whether it's for our breaks and we go for a gentle walk and we take our shoes off. I was going to say take our feet off. Take our shoes off, walk around on the grass, roll around on the grass, whatever it is that allows you to just be and to be with nature, connect with nature, be gentle and quiet and flowing, that flow state. So making sure that the flow state is in line with the structure state, with the masculine. So yeah, stumbling on my words today. That's awesome. Next, this one did come out of the Rose Oracle, but I'm also going to pull one as well. So the Rose Oracle is Rebecca Campbell. I feel like I haven't done one of these for ages. The fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. Wow, this is a beautiful image. That's stunning. So a lot happens within the body when we allow it to rest, and I guess this is really important, coming back to the yin and yang too. So really honoring that feminine flow state and the rest state. So patience is really big with this, because we are a society that's been conditioned to be busy, that it and quite often guilt comes when we rest, and when we sometimes we have to force ourselves to rest through self-sabotaging ways in which we can't allow that rest without feeling guilt. So therefore we do things that kind of force us to rest. And this is a call to really acknowledge that we are cyclic beings, and while here in New Zealand we are currently going through winter, So it quite often is quite easy when you have that kind of weather that makes you want to go inside and sit in front of the fire and read a book or whatever it is. But throughout every day, we go through these cycles: the summer, the winter, the spring, the autumn. Throughout every week, throughout every month, we are cyclic beings. So when the body calls for rest, when the body communicates that it needs rest, this is a call to really, really drop into that. Because when we allow the patience of what seemingly is not it's not moving forward when we're resting, but what's actually happening is that is when the magic is happening within our body, when our parasympathetic nervous system comes online, and it's the rest and digest. It's when all of the magic happens within our body. So allowing that rest, allowing the very internal structure of our system to feel safe enough to be working and to be functioning how it's meant to. So there is a lot of potency in this, right? There's a lot of potency in that rest state where we may feel like we're not moving forward, but actually we are doing ourselves a great service. So, and within this comes that birthing process, because when we can be quiet and when we can be still, this is when our beautiful intuition comes in, and this is when our soul speaks to us. If we're distracted all the time and we're busy all the time, how can our soul possibly speak to us? So yeah, I feel like that's really beautiful for honoring that feminine, that rest side. So I'm just gonna, oh, here we go. One's just popped out. The morning dew, so clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. Beautiful. So when I feel like this, it actually ties into that perfectly, because after we've had that rest period, we do feel a sense of clarity, and we do feel like a new outlook on life. It's like going on holiday and coming back and having a whole new fresh perspective on things. And we don't have to wait for the holiday though, right? If we do this on a regular basis, like daily, weekly, then we are constantly in this beautiful state of honoring the masculine and the feminine, being in flow with life, instead of grinding, hustling all the way through until we finally get that break. And usually what happens, if that's the case, we usually get sick when we take that break. After we've been hustling and grinding for so long, the body goes, oh, mean, now I can actually fully let all of this go. The body holds on for dear life. So it is really important that we honor these rest periods so that we can get that fresh start and that clarity, and allows us to drop into a more positive mindset. So yeah, I feel like that's awesome. Beautiful message. So I will pull one from the Angels and Ancestors. What do you have for us for the collective energies? Lionsgate portal energies. So this is a time when these energies are coming in to really be intentional with being open and receptive to these energies and allowing them to come into our body. Like, our body is literally being upgraded, and we are actually coming into or accessing our light bodies. So, you know, we're this physical kind of meat and bone body, but we have access to this beautiful light body as well. And this is part of our spirit, our soul, our evolution. Yeah, so just really being open and receptive to those energies, allowing them in. Dream and journey, so the drum. Beautiful. This feels a little bit like a reminder, a beautiful reminder. And actually, so in this, in this rest time, allowing ourselves to drop into that dream state, into that imagination, into the childlike energy of dreaming, and allowing ourselves to be led down different paths of our imagination. And when we do this, we allow our mind to open, actually. Like, it feels like an expansion of the mind. So really, and even like having the positive outlook, having a fresh perspective on what our life can be and where it can go. And, you know, there is a limitless amount of possibilities for us. And the only way that we kind of move down different paths is through our own choices. So this feels like, you know, like the dream space is using our imagination, dropping into that childlike energy, and really, really allowing ourselves to go into a space that we wouldn't normally go into, having a different perspective, opening our mind to something grander and greater than what we could, our limited ego, logical mind could possibly think up. So yeah, a call to dream and journey within the mind. So, you know, like, we have so much power within our mind, and yet we use it for such mundane things. And so this is a call in those times of reflection and rest. And, you know, this is the potency that we have, because when we can drop into that dreaming and imagining our lives and what it could possibly be, we can start to actually create from that space. And these energies, these Lion's Gate portal energies, are all about manifestations and, you know, our co-creation with the universe and the power that we hold within us. So yeah, it's really, really potent. The next one that I'm going to take a card from is the Gateway of Light Activation from Kyle Gray. To be honest, I haven't picked up this deck for a long time, so I was pleasantly surprised that I was drawn to bring it in today for this reading, because I haven't actually used it. Oh yes, amazing, cool. I'm gonna do two. So this one is Star Being Healing Codes. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. Oh, yeah. So once again with the Lion Gate portal energies, like the information that comes through light. So light is how information travels. If you think about how we receive all of the information that we receive via the internet, and, you know, this is light moving through cables, and yet we take that for granted, like, so much. But when when this light is hitting our planet and actually changing the very structure of our physical body, important information is coming through with that. So really, really, I am open to receive the codes, the light code activations that are coming through right now. I am open to receive the abundant codes that are coming through right now, abundance codes. Yeah, and knowing that through this recharge, okay, I'm just gonna, knowing that through this recharge, this is the card. Can't see very well. Our wounds are being healed. So this is a really a potent opportunity for the letting go and for the releasing work as well. So as we kind of ascend and our light body comes online and we start activating these newer versions of ourselves, what must or what cannot come with us on that journey is all of the wounds and their limiting beliefs and the heaviness that holds us back, that holds us in that 3D reality, that holds us in that matrix reality. So what are you ready to let go of? What is something, this actually feels like a really good time to prompt yourself So what is it that I'm ready to let go of? Or what is it that I'm actually holding on to? Yeah, so quite often we hold on to things through the ego mind, through our identity of who we were, versus who we want to be or who we're becoming. And quite often with that comes like a death and a rebirth. And the death of the ego or the death of the identity can feel like an actual death. There is a grief process. There is this beautiful unraveling and, honoring what's been and the lessons that you've learned through being that, or through that part of your journey in your life and that version of you, but really allowing it to go now, allowing that to release, and understanding that we don't have to continue cycles and patterns. We don't have to be what our parents were or what their parents were. We don't have to carry on the traditions even. So, like sometimes we get so caught up in the human stuff that we don't realize how much we're holding ourselves back. So we get to choose. And by not choosing and running the autopilot is also a choice. So really acknowledging, what am I ready to let go of? And, how can I kind of step out of that skin suit that once was me and served me for a beautiful time in my life, but now I'm ready to step into something new. And the other one that came out was Lemurian seed codes. Beautiful, which I love. Love, love, love our Lemurian seed code crystal, which we have here somewhere. So it actually, and again, so the Lemurian seed crystal has all these, it looks like a quartz, clear quartz, but it actually has all of these lines in it. And the lines are codes or information that has been stored in these crystals from the Lemurian civilization. So embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. So I feel what's important to acknowledge here, especially with the sensitivity. So John and I, we feel a lot. John feels a lot, a lot more than what I do. But I the more that I allow my gifts to come through, the more I open myself up to these, even downloading these activations and these codes, the more my body feels. And I do feel energy, and I do see energy, and I even felt or saw and felt something in our hallway last night, which was interesting. But embracing this, right? Instead of having that fear of it, like really embracing it and embodying it. And even the self-inquiry around, how can I embody this more? How can I embody my sensitivities? Oh my God, I can't speak today. So even acknowledging, so my speech has been interesting this afternoon. So I've been in quite an energetic space today. I held a breathwork this morning online, and I had not had much sleep, and I've done a really long meditation. I've been in front of the computer a lot of the day, and just really acknowledging actually my sensitivities to the energy that's coming in, and acknowledging when to rest. So I took a good 2 hours in the middle of the day today to do a meditation, to rest. So this is what it looks like to really embrace and to embody our sensitivities and what we're feeling. So instead of brushing it off or going into, those stories of, I'm old, so that's why my body's feeling like this. Maybe your body's communicating to you, actually. Maybe it's not because you're old. Maybe it is actually your body's way of communicating that it needs to rest, or maybe a walk would be better than a run for your knees or your ankles or whatever it is that's calling attention to it. Yeah, and then stepping into, like, with that sensitivity, stepping into your uniqueness and being your true authentic self in everything that you do, everywhere that you go, you know, being the same person, because it is exhausting putting on masks and being something that you're not, and being this for that person and this for that person, and, you know, being one person at work and then being a different person at home with our partner, and then being another different person when you're with your friends. So how can we actually embrace our uniqueness and our authenticity and know that the right people will find you and love you, and the people that don't, that's okay. We don't need everyone to love us or even like us. So yeah, just really honoring your unique soul and your unique soul blueprint. I do crack myself up though, so that's always a good thing. Okay, let's take one from the Oracle of the Essences. This is one of my favorite decks. It's a little bit unique, like me. Oil essences are a huge factor in my life. I literally use my essential oils every single day for all sorts of different things. Yeah, all sorts of things. So what essence will we most benefit from this week? Ooh. Well, yeah, that feels on point, because when we're upgrading, we are evolving, and we are, it's a growth point, right? So this is Kabayaba, growth and accomplishment. She's bright, she's unique. She's rocking it. It's powerful. So there's a beautiful connection here to that uniqueness and the flamboyancy of that uniqueness. So whenever we go through these upgrades, we go through massive transformation, and we go through massive growth. And what that can look like is that can actually look really challenging, and it can look really dark, and it can look really miserable. So I just want you to allow yourself to acknowledge that when we are growing, we do, you know, it's growing pains, right? So it's going through that growth process of you know, when we accomplish things and when we grow and we reach new levels, then we do unearth new devils. And this can look like new challenges or wounding or traumas that kind of surface that we didn't know were lying dormant. So allowing ourselves to acknowledge that when we're growing, that sometimes there is pain in that, and actually accepting that. And as soon as we accept it, it almost eases the pain. And you know, acceptance is such an amazing tool for moving through the growth period. You know, it's like when you first start a job and you're learning and you're growing, and it's really hard and it's a brain strain and you're exhausted at the end of every day. But we push on through that pain point because it feels so good on the other side to go, wow, I've learnt this new skill now. And then we've literally rewired the brain, the neural pathways, and then we can, once that new neural pathway is formed, then it allows us to come more naturally to us. So just knowing that through on this journey of growth, that there will be pain points, and that's okay. It is a part of the rewiring pathway. And that you will feel that accomplishment at the end, or at the end of that growth period. So, the last one that I'm going to choose, this is a new, well, it's not new, we've had it for ages, but it is one that I've just started playing with more, the Relationships Oracle. I'm finding it really powerful within my sessions to use, just for a quick kind of message around who we are within our relationships. So, so I'm going to ask, you know, what do we need within our relationships this week with the Lionsgate portal energies, with the full moon in Aquarius? What's the overall energy that we need within our relationships? So this could be any relationships. This could be a relationship with your partner, with your family, with your children, within your workplace, whatever area you're focusing on at the moment, whatever area it is that you need help with in this moment. Cool, so 2 have popped out. Yep, that's it, yep. So, oh, this is beautiful. The energy of union, so union. The energy of union activates our ability to unite our outer and inner aspects toward a state of wholeness. These images are really, really cool too. And we got 44, so we got 22 and 44. So these are master numbers. Rocking it. Rocking it. The energy of union activates our ability to unite our outer and inner aspects toward a state of wholeness. And this feels really in tune with actually everything else that we've talked about. So the yin and the yang, you know, that beautiful harmony. And so honoring, I want this to, this feels like, actually this feels like when we are confronted with something outside of ourselves, how can we fold that back in again? Because every time that we may see something in somebody else, how can we fold that back within ourselves so that we are on this path of growth, this path of, you know, allowing our wounds to drop away, our traumas, our triggers, all of the things, to allow ourselves to actually have that deeper awareness of ourselves as a whole being. So, you know, because if we're always looking outside of ourselves, we're never going to get there. It's an inside job. And so therefore it's really important that when we do observe outside of ourselves, that we fold back within as well. Yeah, I will read from the book these ones too, because I want to and I can. And so we also got the seventh chakra. The energy of the crown chakra supports our feeling of being connected to a higher power and part of a larger whole. Yes. So, and actually this feels like the connection with the crown, the connection to source at the moment as well, when we've got these healing codes, light codes, abundance, the DNA upgrades, all of the things coming down from that God source energy and down into the body, down through the crown is where we are connected. And we're always connected to source energy. We just, sometimes we just get a little bit in misalignment, or, you know, we get pulled off our alignment or our integrity or whatever it may be. And so just understanding that we are connected to that in every moment. So with intention, we can feel that connection greater, and it does allow us to have compassion and to drop into, those deeper states of compassion, you know, when we understand that we are part of a greater whole. And even that union, you know, the union card, like honoring the fact that, you know, when we evolve, we move towards that sense of unity, and, you know, the unity consciousness is ideally where we go, to release all of the separateness that is in our world. And the only way to actually get there is to honor the outer and the inner process. Excuse me. Just energy flowing. Okay, so let's see what the book says. Oh, it's the last one of the deck. Cool. So union means to be united or joined together. This suggests that there is a state of separateness before, and that there are parts or components that can be joined together to create a oneness. In reference to the inner world of the human being, union has to do with a state of wholeness, completion, harmony, balance, and inner peace. As pure spiritual and energetic beings, we are all connected to and part of everything. We are all one. From the moment we are born into this three-dimensional world, we start on a journey to experience that feeling of oneness again. As spiritual beings in physical bodies, we find that our journey here revolves around our intrinsic desire for that sense of completion and wholeness, a deep yearning to not feel alone or separated. Deep inside, we carry that inherent memory of feeling one with everything, with the universe, with God. Our quest to return to this state of wholeness is often what fuels our desires, drives our motivations, and determines our direction in life, ensuring our growth and evolution. So, while ultimately our sense of wholeness has to come from within, through relationship with others, we can support our desire to not feel alone while growing our inner sense of completion through the reflection of another. In a harmonious love relationship, partners maintain their individuality and uniqueness, while their togetherness creates a related third entity that is their sum. When united in this manner, the relationship can be fulfilling and transforming, with each partner on their individual journey and growing as they simultaneously share a joined adventure. 1 and 1 makes 3. Union with a mate is far more than the joining of physical bodies. When union entails the merging of hearts and souls as well, and thus the energies of many different levels, the fulfillment we experience can be profound and deeply transformative. That's beautiful. So, how do you feel about this concept? How is this different from the idea that two people unite and become one? No. Are you seeking union with a mate? What would that add? What would that add to what you can do by yourself? How does union with another happen? Is it a physical act, or does it go beyond? Does union occur instantaneously, or does it happen over time? Do you believe in once united, always united? What does union need to be sustained? Are there different aspects within yourself that need to be united? Beautiful. That's that's really cool, and I really resonate with that on so many levels, because in the past, and how we've been socially conditioned, we is all you have to do is look at movies and media, and we are taught and conditioned and role modeled that romantic relationships are quite codependent, and this whole to become one is not. We must be our whole sovereign being within our relationship. Otherwise, we find that we lose parts of ourselves, or we lose ourselves entirely, which is really, really common, and something that I've experienced multiple times in other relationships. So, maybe some beautiful self-awareness around this, and maybe around your relationship, or if you're calling in a relationship. And, so if you've got a list of characteristics on that, of that person that you're wanting to call in, for instance, are you embodying all of the things on that list yourself? Because if you're not, then there's still inner work to do. Yeah, so we can never look outside of ourselves for that connection. It has to come from within first. So even if you are wanting more connection within your sexuality or your sensuality or your intimacy, that must come from within first. Yeah, we can't put that pressure on someone else to be all of that for us, to make us happy, or to make us feel sexy, or to make us feel connected. This really is an inside job first. And being that whole sovereign being within a relationship is beautiful, because there's no, that's freedom within relationship, and that's quite often what is missing from relationships. They become controlling and dominating, and they become a power struggle, and it becomes about, yeah, like obligation and servitude and all of those horrible things. So this is about us being free within our relationships, which is beautiful. Yeah, I really like that. I like that. So this has been your beautiful reading for the Lionsgate portal energies and me feeling like I'm on another planet. So I hope that it made sense, and I'm sure on an energetic level it did. And if you want to share this with your loved ones or anyone that you feel might gain some something from it, that they might resonate, or there might be a message in here for them, please do share the love. Comment as well. It helps the algorithm. And subscribe too if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. So I do generally do new moon and full moon readings. Sometimes I do special energy readings if I feel like it, or if there are special kind of, you know, like the Lionsgate portal. However, that fell on the same week as a full moon, so it's a double whammy. I just want to feel in and see if there's anything else that I need to bring through. I feel like it's important to just say, like, to release the tension within the body. And to do this is, it's really beautiful just to breathe and to pull your breath down into the heart space, down into the belly. So the more that we breathe into the body as deep as we can, we're pulling ourselves out of our mind, out of our logical mind, out of our ego mind, and allowing ourselves to actually feel into the body. What am I feeling? And if you can feel tension, you can breathe beautiful light into that tension, and then on the out breath, just let it go. And imagine that energy coming out of you, whether it looks like a dark cloud or a mist, or, you know, some form of negative energy, or a constrictive energy or resistant energy, whatever it looks like or feels like to you, give it a color, get it out of your body. And just know that with intention, we can do this with our breath. We are powerful beings, and we can instruct our body on so many levels to tap into our energetic body. So I think that's all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and have a beautiful week.